What's up, people? Bringing another actual talk about an episode review for Jujutsu Kaisen. Can't pronounce the name right. The first episode. Um, God, I wrote it down and I'm not even really. I'm looking at it, but at the same time. So it shows in the beginning, if I'm right, that he's our guy. What's his name? Yuji. He's tied up, and we don't know why. And there's a bunch of all these like candles, and then you see this guy sitting across from him, and this guy has eyes covered by this black strip thing or something like that. And I look up their names. So when we see a character in an episode, I look up their names of who they are, even though we don't hear what their names actually are in the episode. So the guy with the strip, the black thing around his eyes, that originally had Yuji in the room, tied up to the chair. His name's Sartori. He has the eye patch thing around his eyes. Not sure why, because it was only the first episode, so we don't know much about him. All we know is that he's that he just had this patch thing over his eyes, and that's all I know. It didn't show him in the first episode, but it showed him in the beginning, but we don't know what he does. All we know is he's got black patch over his eyes, but we're not sure what he does because it hasn't introduced him yet. So sorry if in a way that's a spoiler thing, or not spoiler. And I also saw him like in this music video thing on my YouTube, on this anime AMV thing I liked. That's how I found about this anime too. Just like the last one with the taboo tattoo. That's the other reason why I looked this guy's, because it shows him a glimpse and all that too. But we don't know who he is. But prior to that, his Yuji's grandpa is in the hospital. I think if I remember, he's sick. He was sick. And so he's always calling all the time to see if his grandpa's all right. But his grandpa's kind of mean and instantly, always tell the nurses, quit telling him to call, quit telling my grandson, blah, 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 to call, quit telling him to call here and blah, blah, blah. I don't need his concern, something like that. And it's like, damn, Jesus, he's your grandson, if I'm saying that right. So it's like, of course he's going to be concerned. Definitely if you were in the hospital for whatever reason, sick or whatever. Can't remember if it said how he was sick, but I think, or how he was sick, why he was in the hospital, but I think probably sickness. And then it shows this other guy, and I looked him up too, and his name's Megum. Can't pronounce his name right. And he's trying to look for this curse object thing. It shows on his phone, and it looks like a finger. If I'm right, yeah. Inside this box, it showed like a finger, or it was just wrapped up. But obviously, later in the episode, you see a finger. Well, I'll talk about that part. And all of a sudden, you see this curse, I guess he called it, start crawling around that nobody else can see, but he can see. Start going up this like light pole and stuff, and it looks like a weird lizard creature looking thing. And he called it I actually wrote it down, a cursed spirit 2 gray. So my best guess is there's different levels of curses. Cursed spirit gray 3, 4, 5, 6, but 2's like the lowest from like 1 or whatever. It didn't do anything. He didn't fight it, or at least it didn't show. And so he's searching for it and stuff. And the hell? And so Yuji is part of this club thing with these 2 other people that he barely knows, but he instantly was calling them his friends. I can't remember what the club was about, but it was about something. And he ends up getting in a competition with this one guy about throwing these black ball things in it too. And then, so like I said, I might be going out of order of what I'm talking about. And Yuji wins, because the other guy thought he was going to win. But when Yuji threw his little ball, it put a dent in the metal. I think of like a goal, like it looked like a soccer goalie thing. Could be wrong, but I think so. And then going forward, Yuji runs past Magmu or whatever his name is, and he senses this evil presence off of him as he runs past him. And he tries to stop him, but he just runs. And later finds him, Yuji, in a classroom, and was like, "Do you have this object?" and blah blah blah. And he's like, "Oh, that, yeah, I didn't think much of it," and blah blah blah. "I didn't think nothing bad about it." And he's like, "I need it. It's a curse, and it's bad, it's evil, it's not good." And he's like, "My friends got it," which the other two members of this club that they made. And it shows them by themselves in the school. And I think they broke into the school because it surely wasn't open. Like, there was nobody else in the school besides them. So I wonder if they just secretly sneaked in. So I wouldn't say braked in, but sneaked in. And then they started opening it, the two friends of his that he barely knows, but he's instantly calling them their friends. And next thing you know, it cuts away. They're running. Yuji and Maggie, forgot, are both running to the school. And you see all of a sudden his friends hiding, one of the girl hiding, and you see this weird mutated, I think it looked like a fish, human, lizard looking thing walking by with a bunch of eyes and stuff. And then the other guy shows up out of nowhere because she thought, "Oh, there you are," is what she said. All of a sudden it shows the guy, and he has all these hands all up on his face, and it looks like a mouth over his head. And the next thing you know, she gets grabbed from behind by that monster. It walked by and grabs her, and it cuts away. And the Megum guy runs into the school to save these students because he knows they're in danger and they're going to die. So he does that. And then as he finds the curse, he summons these dogs. I think he called them demon dogs. And they're there helping out for a minute. I think they killed one curse. The dogs helped out killing one of the curses. And could be wrong. And next thing you see is this curse eating the girl and even eating the finger thing at the same time. But he couldn't figure out what to do, like how to save the girl, the curse thing, and all that. And then Yuji just breaks right through the window and starts fighting the thing. Jumps on it, does this like big old kick and stuff, and it releases the girl and the curse. So he grabs the girl and gets out of there. And after grabbing her, I think it was Megum that finally destroys the curse, because after he destroys it, kills the curse, the monster, the creature, whatever, the demon dogs both started eating the curse, and he thought nobody else can see it, but Yuji was like, "What are those? Are those your pets, or how'd you?" He was wondering what they were, and he was confused. Like, you can see them, so like Megum was confused that Yuji can actually see him, because he thought that people can't, because he told him that people can't see him unless they're on their like deathbed and they're about to die, I guess. And so they disappeared, and next thing you know, another monster comes out of nowhere and comes from the ceiling and attacks Megum or injures him. So next thing you know, there's a fight going on between Yuji and this cursed monster that started coming after him because he had the finger, if I'm right. And he throws the finger up as he's grabbed by this curse and holding it by his teeth at the end of his mouth. This finger. Holy shit, it's hard to breathe sometimes. Sorry if I stop talking for a minute. And prior to that, he all of a sudden throws the finger in the air, then he kind of jumps off the guy, eats it, and Megum is concerned because he's like 1 in a million chance that he's going to survive. He's going to die. So he's, crouching and then he breaks out of the monster's hold, the cursed monster. And all of a sudden the monster's coming at him. He's just standing there, and all of a sudden goes like this with his hand. Next thing you know, the cursed monster or whatever, obliterated, dead. And then you see an eye that's on the side of the guy's face, and it's all of a sudden a different person talking. It's not him anymore. And he started talking about, like, where's the woman? Where's the children? Blah, blah, this and that. And all evil. Talking evil. And then Yuji grabs his own face and tells him, what are you doing with my body and stuff? And he's like, it's my body. I want my body back. And this curse or whatever it is, we don't know its name. I don't think we know its name yet. But this curse was like, he's putting me away, and all of a sudden you see the eye on the side of his face closing because he's shocked that the Yuji's putting him away. And from there, you see Megum, whatever is how you pronounce his name, sorry if I'm still pronouncing it wrong, do this thing with his hands at the end, and is like, you're cursed, blah blah blah, we got to do this certain, I can't remember what he said, a certain thing to put you to rest or something like that, if I remember what he said. And then it cuts out from there. So now we got to figure out what's this Megum guy, what he's all about. Yuji, so now what happens now since he ate the curse and it looked like another evil presence in him for a minute, and what's that about? We still got to learn about these curses, what kind of different other curses are there besides like the cursed gray one I said, and then the other curses that Yuji was explained to by Megum. But like I said, I definitely will be doing reaction to the second episode for sure though. But peace. See you people. Oh my god, I paused myself. Peace. See you people next time.